This Commanders undrafted free agent is doing really well in Washington Commanders training camp, and he could be a real threat to make this wide receiver room much, much better. Let's talk about it.
After 20 years, you know we back on. No more Snyder, more McLaurin. One full with the passion, you know we scoring. FedEx field back lit, no it is not boring. John Allen lead the troops, yeah you know we storming. Burgundy and gold in my veins, yeah I bleed that. St. Jude saw the ball, grab a pig, yeah I need that.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with yet another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here to talk about an undrafted free agent that is going crazy in Washington Commanders training camp right now. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new content like this to the channel. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So as we know, training camp is in full effect. We're in our third week, and now by this time you can start to see who is separating themselves and who's making noise, who's catching the coach's eyes, and who isn't. You know, the first preseason game is this Friday. You know what I'm saying? So it's starting to get real unchy. Now, this one guy that I want to talk about has been separating himself, and he has actually shown a lot of potential to the point where they have him running with the twos. Not only does he have him running with the twos, this guy could be a serious threat for this in this wide receiving room, and we already got a stacked wide receiving room at that. This guy that I'm talking about is Tinsley, wide receiver out of Penn State. He has been turning up Washington Commanders training camp, consistently running with the twos. Now, the reason why it is, you know, it's kind of mind-boggling that he's running with the twos, because again, this guy is an undrafted free agent. You know, they got him. They didn't really expect much out of him. Obviously, they thought he was good, and they thought he could have some type of potential because they signed him. But I'm pretty sure they didn't expect this explosion. Okay, he's not only running with the twos, he's also having some time with the ones. So this guy, I think, is going to make this roster. Okay, and that's saying a lot prior to us even seeing what he does in full game action. He's been really good. Hands has been good. Explosiveness has been good. Everything that you can ask from a wide receiver, he's been good. He's like a deep threat kind of guy. 6'1", so he can go up and get 205 pounds. He did go to Penn State, so I'm curious to see if he crossed paths with Jahan Dawson. However, I know he went to a college prior to Penn State, so I'm not sure. But if they did, that'd be cool too. But you look at what he can bring to this wide receiver room. We looking at that back end. Obviously, we know the locks: Turry, Curtis, Dayami, Jahan. Those are the 4 locks right there. But I know we're probably going to keep 6. Could we keep 5? Potentially. But I know we more likely than not is going to keep 6, because we need somebody that can not only help out at the wide receiver room, but can potentially return punts and kicks, right? And that's where Dax Milne come in. That's where a guy like Tinsley could come in. Now, I know y'all aren't too fond of Dax Milne, but again, like I say all the time, I get any time to speak about Dax Milne, I personally feel like he's overhated by this fan base. Another guy that you got to keep in mind is we got Marcus Kemp early in the offseason, and then we recently just got Byron Pringle. So for all intents and purposes, I think 7 is a bit too much. But, I mean, you got some guys, okay? Now, not necessarily does Marcus Kemp have to make this roster, or does Byron Pringle have to make this roster, but you signed Marcus Kemp to replace Cam Sims. Now, Cam Sims, for me, was a really good wide receiver, and I felt like he was so underutilized here in Washington, and he had so much untapped potential that we just never tapped into for whatever reason. Can Marcus Kemp provide you with that same kind of depth? That I'm not sure. I know Marcus Kemp is a hell of a special teams guy, but I don't know nothing about Marcus Kemp as the wide receiver. With Cam Sims, we know he was a hell of a special teams guy, but he was also a hell of a wide receiver if he needed to get in the game. That with Marcus Kemp, I'm not sure. So maybe Marcus Kemp doesn't make this roster because he doesn't provide much depth at the wide receiver position. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Byron Pringle makes this roster, because I know what Byron Pringle could do as a wide receiver, you know, as a returner, as a special teams guy. So I think if we had to go with these 4 guys right here, I think Byron Pringle is making some noise, and I think he's turning some heads. Obviously, Eric Bieniemy, familiar with Super Bowl champion with him, so he has a lot of familiarity with EB, so that's good, right? I think Byron Pringle, I think Mitchell Tinsley, I think Dax Milne are your three like favorite guys out of these four. So the thing is though with Mitch, right? Mitch. Can he provide some type of special teams ability? If you're not going to be a kick return guy or punt return guy, can you be a gunner? You know what I'm saying? Can you do that? If he can do that, I think he makes his roster that much more, easier. Now, I think he's been having a hell of a camp. And I think he already is clearly turning heads. I mean, consistently running with the two as an undrafted free agent is amazing. So I think he's clearly turning some heads, but if he can provide some type of ability to be a factor in the special teams department, that's going to blow him right away. So I think we're going to keep 6 receivers. We already know the 4. The last 2, I think it's either going to be Mitchell Tinsley and Byron Pringle or Mitchell Tinsley and Dax Milne. I think Mitchell Tinsley is making his roster. And again, like I said with Dax Milne, he's not exciting. Right? He's not exciting at all as a kick returner, but at least you know he's going to corral on the catch. Or as a punt returner, you know he's going to corral on the catch. That's one thing about it. We love Steven Sims, but Steven Sims coughed up the ball too much. We love DeAndre Carter. DeAndre Carter didn't nearly cough up the ball as Steven Sims, but he had his woes at times. I don't know about y'all. I would love an exciting kick returner, obviously. But what I value more than an exciting kick returner is a guy that can just corral in the catch and give me the ball to the 20, 25, whatever. And let my offense work. Especially since this offense has the potential to be really, really good. I want to watch this offense work. Again, I'm not discrediting nobody that take it back to the house. I would love for us to get a 60-yard jump to the house or a 35, 45-yard return, set us up near midfield or opposing or opposition territory. I would love that for sure. But I'm saying we got an exciting offense that we don't got to risk much. Just give me the ball at the 20-25, let us work. Simple as that. And I think that's what Dax Milne provided for us. And also, let's not act like Dax isn't a really good slot receiver. He came up huge at times last year. I'm not necessarily saying Dax has to make this roster, but I think this fan base needs to lighten up on Dax a little bit. I think he could very, very well get that last wide receiver spot, especially if he goes out to have a really good preseason, because he's a guy that's already proven. Believe it or not, he's already a guy that is proven, and he's on a good side of the coaching staff. He's proven to be a good slot receiver. I don't think they like him that much as a kick returner or a return guy, but they know at least if we stick Dax back there, we're going to at least not have no type of fumbling issue. Right? And let me know if y'all feel different. Would y'all much rather have a guy that gives you some type of explosiveness when it comes back there to kick returns and gives you a chance to return one to the house, but also has a high chance of, coughing it up? Or would you rather go with the safe guy and he ain't going to be too fun to watch, but he's going to give you the catch and he's going to make the right reads, and just give you the ball to your offense. Now, I will say one thing about Dax Milne that kind of pissed me off about him. As I just mentioned, reads. He kind of didn't know when to pick up the ball or let it bounce, and take a wash and spin. He kind of would just let it bounce inside our own territory at times when it's like, hey, Dax, you could have got that, man. And instead of us starting inside our own 5, we could have been at our 15 or our 10 or something much better than inside our own 5. That's one thing I can't say about Dax, but that's something that he can learn. Now, again, I'm not pulling for Dax Milne to make this roster and be our kick returner, but I'm just saying, again, I think he's overhated. Now, back to Mitchell Tinsley. So, Mitchell Tinsley in 2020 at Western Kentucky, he had 377 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. But then in his second year in 2021 at Western Kentucky, he had 1,402 receiving yards for 14 touchdowns. So, he went crazy that year, man. 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns, man. That is an insane stat. I don't care what level you're at. So he had some type of potential. Then he transferred to Penn State, and he had a solid year in 2022 with averaging 577 yards for 5 touchdowns, and I believe in 2023 he got hurt. So again, I like what we can get out of Mitchell Tinsley. You know what I'm saying? He could probably replace Dax Milne. I just talk highly of Dax Milne. He could be the Dax Milne replacement if he can provide us some type of opportunity to be good in special teams, right? Because he could be that slot guy that we're looking for, that depth guy behind, you know, a Curtis Samuel or a Deami. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, y'all, I'm not saying that Mitchell Tinsley is the next great thing, but I'm saying he could be the next great thing. You know what I'm saying? We might got us a guy. Let me know what y'all think about it, though, man. 1,400 yards in 2021. You get him with Eric Bieniemy, one of the great offensive minds in today's game. Maybe he could draw up some things for a guy like Mitchell Tinsley. He's consistently running with the 2 as an undrafted free agent, and he's running a little bit with the 1s, too. So, hey, keep out for number 86 in this year's preseason, man. But anyways, there y'all have it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below about this undrafted free agent that has been turned at Washington Commanders training camp, Mitchell Tinsley. Do you think he can make this roster? Would you like to see him make this roster? Leave all your comments down below. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hail to the Washington Commanders. Want to road to 6,000 subscribers, please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. See y'all next time. I'm out. Peace.